The moment the ball is hit by the server, each team must be positioned within its own court in the rotational order. The 3 players along the net are front row players and occupy positions for front left, 3 front center, and 2 front right. The other 3 are back row players occupying positions 5 back left, 6 back center, and 1 back right. Each back row player must be positioned further back from the net than the corresponding front row player. The front row players and the back row players respectively must be positioned laterally. Each front row players must have at least a part of his or her foot closer to center line and feet to the right-left sideline than the feet of the center player of his row. Once the ball has been served, the players may move around in position. Positional fault. A rotational fault is committed when the service is not made according to the rotational order. The scorer should determine the exact moment when the fault was committed and all points remain valid.
Substitution of players. Number 1 is the substitution is required to tell the referee first. For even if the game is going on, they will know because the referee knows. Number 2 is suppose you are number 3 and you approach the referee and then you see a substitute to number 6 and what position number 3 is in that position. Limitation of substitution. Number 1 is you can only substitute 6 times, then at least some can be repeated. Suppose 2 will be replaced and 2 will also be inserted. Whatever position the 2 left, that is also the position you will be replaced. Number 2 is the starting line is called the first 6 players. Suppose you serve, you can change right away. You can enter again when the one inside is already in the middle. You can change one in a set when you return the court. What was your position before you were replaced? That is your position again. Number 3 is the substitute player can center in the game but only once, then they pretend to substitute and then the game is good and they can be replaced. Just that position anyway.
An exceptional substitution means that any player that is not on the court at the time of the injury, except the libero or his/her replacement player, may be substituted into the game for the injured player. If the injured player is unavailable to play and a legal or exceptional substitution can't be made, the referee must grant a special timeout of the 3 minutes. No player may be granted more than one 3-minute injury timeout during a match. If a player becomes injured to the extent that the second 3-minute timeout would be required, the team is declared incomplete. Substitution for expulsion or disqualification. An expelled or disqualified player must be substituted through a legal substitution. If this is not possible, the team is declared incomplete. The differences between expulsion and disqualification. Expulsion, repeated rude conduct, as sanctioned by expulsion, and the player must leave the playing area for the remainder of the game. In disqualification, for offensive conduct aggression, the player is sanctioned by disqualification and must leave the playing area for the remainder of the match. The signal for expulsion and disqualification. When referee raise both yellow and red separately, it is disqualification. And for the expulsion, when the referee show both cards jointly, both yellow and red cards are means to penalize a players or coaches for misconduct behavior during a volleyball game. Like in the other game, yellow card is the second stage of the formal warning for a players or coaches for minor misconduct, and red are used to punish the players or coaches for playing among serious offenses. A substitution is considered as illegal if the team has exceeded the limit of substitutions during a game or when a player is replaced with an unregistered player It's worth noting that a valuable team will be punished if a valuable player is substituted legally.